I call the member for Macnamara.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. I rise to speak about the passing and the life of Uncle Jack Charles. Firstly, as my colleague Linda Burney, the Minister for Indigenous Affairs, did earlier this morning, I too would like to acknowledge Uncle Jack's family, who has given us permission to use his name, and I send my sincerest condolences and sympathies to his family during this time. Uncle Jack Charles was a proud Bunwurrung, Dja-dja-wurrung, Woiwurrung and Tuggerang man with strong connections to the community of Macnamara. He was a survivor of the stolen generation. As an infant, he was forcibly removed from his mother by authorities. He endured homelessness, imprisonment, and a cycle of addiction for much of his life. But Uncle Jack turned it into something remarkable, and he turned it into an inspiration for others. There's a great film on Netflix called The Art of Incarceration, and the opening of this film, you'll hear Uncle Jack. This film is about turning the lives of First Nations people around and turning the lives of those incarcerated around. It was facilitated and created by an organisation in my electorate called The Torch, which engages with First Nations people and helps them create, Acting Speaker, some of the most magnificent art you could ever lay your eyes on. And all of the proceeds of The Torch goes into rehabilitation and to rebuilding lives. And naturally, Uncle Jack was the perfect fit for a film and a story about turning lives around and about bringing people from incarceration into a better life and a better future. And Uncle Jack used that earthy, deep voice that could easily move past the superficial conversations that usually run our day-to-day lives. That Uncle Jack's soulful voice was able to touch something far deeper and to touch a deeper part of ourselves that made us think, that made us feel, and that made us act. And that was extraordinary. In 1971, Uncle Jack co-founded Australia's first Indigenous theatre group, the Nindathana at Melbourne's Pram Factory, and he is known as the grandfather of black theatre. And although his life was marred with great injustice, trauma and hardship, Uncle Jack remained endlessly generous and a relentless advocate for the underdog. Perhaps something that is spoken a little less is that Uncle Jack was an out and proud gay man. And one of the last public events that Uncle Jack attended was a Wear It Purple Day at the Victorian Pride Centre in the heart of my electorate in St Kilda. And this event was organised by Koori Pride Victoria, one of the permanent tenants of the Pride Centre, and Switchboard Victoria, another outstanding local organisation that both support the LGBTQI plus people in need. The CEO of Koori Pride, Ali Toby, told us about how important it was for queer Aboriginal people to have such a strong role model. Uncle Jack encouraged people to be themselves and to be proud of who they are. At this event, Uncle Jack Charles reminded everyone of the power you can find in telling your own story. And Uncle Jack told stories. He told stories to change hearts and change minds. He used his voice, his remarkable voice. Rest in power, Uncle Jack, and to all his family, Australia grieves alongside you.